We're back for our daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Today is Saturday, March 29th, and we've got 7 games today in the National Basketball Association, headlined by the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Memphis Grizzlies, obviously with the Taylor Jenkins situation. We'll get into that a little bit later, and the Indiana Pacers going into Oklahoma City to take on the OKC Thunder. Before we get into the predictions, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted both our college basketball best bets and our MLB best bets, so make sure to go check those out. Link in the description down below, along with our UFC Mexico predictions. That's later today. Brandon Moreno, Steve Erceg in Mexico City. Make sure you go check out that video on Greedo Plays MMA and subscribe to that channel as well, along with subscribing to the channel you're watching this video on too. Okay, on to our first game of the day. We go to Orlando, Florida, as the Orlando Magic take on the Sacramento Kings. I'm taking the Sacramento Kings. I've thought long and hard about this one. I'm not joking. Because a couple days ago, I was saying, okay, I think the Kings are going to start sliding, and I think they're going to lose to Orlando. After further evaluation, I think the Kings actually beat Orlando. I know. I think Sacramento gets it. It's the second time they've played this season. The first matchup, Orlando put 130 points on the Kings in Sacramento. I don't think that's going to happen again. The Magic, yeah, they went on a nice run. They beat the Lakers, right? That game where, the Lakers just couldn't figure anything out. They beat the Wizards before that, and they beat the Hornets in the last game of that 3-game winning streak. Ultimately, guys, 2 of those wins are the Wizards and the Hornets, and beating the Lakers, that's every team's game 7, so it is what it is. That loss to the Mavericks is a game that the Magic are supposed to win. I get it, AD's back, but Orlando is supposed to beat Dallas in that spot in Orlando, Florida, and ultimately they lost the game by 9 points. I don't think they can beat the Sacramento Kings on their home court. A Kings team that knows where they're at in terms of the standings. They know every game is absolutely crucial right now, and if Dallas is able to go to Orlando and win, I think Sacramento is going to be able to do the same exact thing. Here's why I don't think Orlando is going to be able to keep up offensively with Sacramento. I get it, the Kings are not the best team. I've harped on the Kings a lot. I said they were, a couple days ago, I said they're going to lose this game, and I think Sacramento is going to lose a lot of games down the stretch. I actually think they can win this one. I think they can outpace Orlando this entire basketball game, because the way the Magic were able to win their first game against Sacramento, they were able to get defensive stops, and Orlando just had a really good shooting night against the Kings. And I understand Sacramento is not the best defensive team. I just don't think Orlando is going to get hot beyond Paolo Banchero, who we know is right now playing like a top 10 player in the sport, undoubtedly, right? Beyond Banchero, yes, Franz Wagner is still very good. They have other really solid guys. I think Sacramento really wins in the center matchup. We haven't seen Domantas Sabonis have a crazy offensive night, at least scoring-wise, in a while. Sure, he's always on the glass. The last 3 games that the Kings have played, Sabonis with 17, 12, and 19 boards. We haven't seen him go off scoring-wise. He hasn't led the Kings in points. I know he had an injury, but since February 8th, where he scored 27 against the New Orleans Pelicans. I'd expect him to really win this matchup here with Wendell Carter, if I'm being honest. It's a very favorable one for him in the first matchup against the Magic. Sabonis at 21 and 13. Ultimately, that's where I think the Kings take over this game, is with Sabonis. And I just don't think the Magic are going to be able to match them offensively. We know the Magic are going to be in the play-in. They're barely holding on to that 8 seed over the Chicago Bulls, and trust me, we'll get to potential all-star Josh Giddey in Chicago in a minute. I just think the Magic lose this game. I think Sacramento gets it, and I think it's a really good spot here for the Kings, at least value-wise. We get the Kings at near even money, minus 115, and I'm going to take it. Give me Sacramento on the money line to outright beat the Orlando Magic in Florida. To our second game of the day, we go to this monstrosity. The Washington Wizards take on the Brooklyn Nets. I'm taking the Wizards as underdogs. I actually don't understand why they are. Well, no, I do get why they're underdogs. The Wizards are coming off the worst loss in a while in the NBA. They let the Indiana Pacers score 162 points in them. On top of that, the Indiana Pacers had 162 points with 2 minutes to go, and Rick Carlisle and the coaching staff decided, you know what? We're not going to score over the last 2 minutes. We're just going to take shot clock violations because this is just too disrespectful at this point. In all fairness, I think taking shot clock violations for the last 2 minutes is even more disrespectful, but I get what the Pacers are trying to do. Okay. I think the Wizards win this game. The Wizards, as of late, have actually been better than the Nets have. It's a fact. The Nets, since they had those close games against the Pacers and the Celtics, well, they've lost 3 in a row, and they've been uncompetitive games. Mavericks lost by 19, Toronto beats them by 30, Clippers beat them by 32. The Nets' leading scorer in that game against the Clippers was Cameron Johnson, who scored 13 points. That was last night. Drew Timme made his NBA debut. That's great. He's getting big minutes for this team. Timme in his first game played 25 minutes, had 10 boards, and had 11 points. But that goes to show again, if Drew Timme's, making his NBA debut and he's getting big time minutes, he's playing 25 plus, kind of just shows you where the Nets are at right now. Second night of a back-to-back for Brooklyn. Washington hasn't played since Thursday, and for as much as we want to harp on the Wizards, yeah, they don't play defense, they're not the best team. Alex Sarr, Jordan Poole, they're decent. Now, I don't know if this is, I don't know if I got NBA centiled here. I did see a tweet saying that Chris Middleton thinks the Wizards can be playoff contenders next season. I don't know if that was a centile or not. But anyways, Middleton, I don't believe is playing tonight. He is out with a knee injury. Marcus Smart questionable. Malcolm Brogdon out. Again, the Wizards are trying to tank. At the same time, the Nets are trying to tank too. Both these teams aren't very good. I'm going to take the Wizards, though, in this game because I think the better players are actually on Washington. Right now, the Wizards are a better team than Brooklyn is. I don't mind Jordan Poole. Alex Sarr has been playing really well. Alex Sarr is probably definitely going to work himself into all-rookie first team. Bub Carrington isn't horrible. I mean, I think the Wizards are better than the Brooklyn Nets, and on top of that, the game's at home. I think that, for as crazy as it sounds, the Wizards are getting disrespected on the lines because of how such a horrid game they played against Indiana. I really think so. They're not going to be that bad this time around. The Nets don't have the offensive output the Indiana Pacers have, and Washington can actually, score. So I'm going to take the Wizards in this game. I don't really like the Nets. Cam Thomas out for the season. Who knows who plays this game too? I think there's potential Cameron Johnson doesn't play. The Nets haven't even ruled a bunch of guys out yet. This is the second night of a back-to-back. Washington hasn't played in 2 days. I'm taking the Wizards to outright beat the Nets at home, and we get minus 105 for it. So sign me up here for Washington. Next up, we go to our third game of the day. We go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for the Philadelphia 76ers and the Miami Heat. I'm actually going to take the Heat to cover 7.5 points. It sounds crazy because the Heat went on their big losing streak. They've won 3 in a row now, so shout out to Miami. At their lowest, they were 11 games under. They're now 8 games under, right? 9 games under, excuse me. 3 straight wins over the Charlotte Hornets, the Golden State Warriors, and the Atlanta Hawks. Good win over Atlanta. Didn't think they were going to get that one. They end up beating the Hawks by 10 points. Tyler Hero puts up 36. Now, too little too late for the Heat in terms of trying to achieve, the 8 or 7 seed in the play-in. They are undoubtedly going to have to win 2 games to get into the playoffs this season, and good luck beating Chicago, Atlanta, or Orlando in a 1-game playoff, I'm going to be honest. But Miami, if they're going to get hot, they need to get hot right now. And they're playing the 2 right teams to get hot against, right? They've already won 3 in a row. They get Philly and Washington here on Saturday and Monday. I mean, these are the teams that Miami needs to start beating. Philly's just horrible. We know they are. I'm really not going to spend too much time on Philadelphia, but I'm surprised they haven't ruled Tyrese Maxey out for the rest of the season. They should, I'll be honest. The latest report on him is head coach Nick Nurse said on Friday that Maxey with the finger injury will not play on Saturday's game against the Heat and Sunday's game against the Raptors. Why hasn't he just been ruled out for the rest of the year, like Embiid, like George, like McCain? I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense to me. Right? I'm surprised they haven't done what the Hornets did with LaMelo Ball, something that I was calling for a while. I mean, I called the LaMelo, out for the season. I called the De'Aaron Fox out for the season. It just makes sense. Maxey, he hasn't played in weeks. I don't know what we're doing. So without Tyrese Maxey, the 76ers are playing Jared Butler, Quentin Grimes, Justin Edwards, Gerson Yabusele, and Ricky Council. It's not a winning formula, guys. It's not. For as bad as Miami's been, they're so much better than Philadelphia. They have injuries of their own right tonight. No Andrew Wiggins. He won't be on this road trip with them. And no Duncan Robinson, same thing. K Love's out, even though he's not the biggest, piece of the squad anymore. But still, they're missing guys. I don't care. Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, and Bam Adebayo will win this game for the Miami Heat. Alec Burks can give you some good minutes at times as well. I think he's questionable. Yeah, he's questionable tonight too. But I don't care how bad the Heat have been. At the same time, they have won 3 games in a row. Philadelphia is the worst. They're not competitive, and they're not healthy. So easily, give me the Miami Heat to win this basketball game. You look at the spread, 7.5 points. I'm going to take them to cover that. I think this is complete domination. Philadelphia gets blown out in every single spot that they have, right? They did, barely lose to the Wizards, but that's the Wizards. Every other game they get blown out against good teams and against borderline play-in teams, they lose by a lot. Hell, look at the Atlanta game. They beat them by double digits. I think the Heat do it too. It's in Philly, don't care. Miami picks up the victory, and they covered the 7.5 points at the same time. We go to our next game. We go to Chicago, Illinois. Are the Chicago Bulls the hottest team in basketball right now? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say, yeah, they're the hottest team in basketball right now. Oh, Boston's won 7 in a row. Oh, the Thunder are great. Sure. In terms of momentum, yes, Chicago is the most momentum in the entire league. They do. Guys, I want to make it very clear, I jumped on the Josh Giddey train a long time ago. Okay? You can go back. All the videos are still on the channel. You can go back to months ago. Months. Beginning of the year, I was high on Josh Giddey. I want to make that very clear. I've been high on this guy the entire season. Walk-off game winner from half court against my favorite team 2 days ago. It sucked. But at the same time, Josh Giddey is that guy. The guy's averaging a triple-double since the trade deadline, another triple-double in the win over the Lakers. He's a walking triple-double. I've said it again. Giddey, Chet, Shea is the new KD, Russ, and Harden. I don't know what that makes Jalen Williams, but I'm just saying, that's the amount of talent here. I don't know if Giddey's ever going to be on that level. I don't really know if Chet's going to live up to that either. But Josh Giddey's going to be a perennial all-star for years to come now. He's going to get at least $150 million in the offseason. He will get paid by the Bulls. Him and Kobe White are actually a dangerous duo. They really are. Since Kobe White decided, okay, I'm 6'5", I'm quick. I'm quick for being 6'5". I can play against these point guards. Kobe White's been great. He's averaging 20.5 points a game this year. Josh Giddey averages a triple-double. These two guards are really working. At the same time, Billy Donovan's not playing four guards in their starting lineup anymore. It's obviously Giddey and White. Combination of whatever, three they play. Sometimes play Herter, sometimes play Dalen Terry, sometimes Patrick Williams. Matas in the starting lineup, but obviously Vucevic. It's much different than the four guards they were starting all year long with Giddey, Ball, White, and Jones, and then just Vucevic at the 5. Lonzo's still out. I don't know what they're going to do with Ball when he comes back. I think he'll be back for the plan. He's doubtful, so Lonzo's getting closer to returning. I don't know. I assume Lonzo will be in a bench role. For the better of this team, yes, Lonzo should be coming off the bench. But the work that Josh Giddey and Kobe White have been putting in recently is very impressive. These two guys are going to be Chicago Bulls basketball for a while, and I think you just pair these two guys with another, all-star, Kevin Durant. I think this team is top 6 in the East next season. I'm serious. I'm going to say right now, they should get Kevin Durant. I think it's a team that no one's talking about to get KD, obviously. Or Joel Embiid. I don't know. Maybe I'm hyping on the Bulls too much, but I'm serious. You give them Kobe White, Josh Giddey, and then Embiid or Durant. I think I don't know. I really don't mind it. Because we feel like those two superstars are going to be in the market this offseason. Trae Young, too, but obviously Young wouldn't work on this team. Why not? Now, for the Dallas Mavericks, I think they lose to Chicago tonight. The Mavs are coming off a victory over the Magic. The Magic are not playing close to as well as the Bulls are. AD is playing tonight. He is probable, so that's great. I still don't think they beat Chicago. They're not going to be able to run with this Bulls team. Yes, Dallas is decent defensively, but Chicago is just the way better team right now. Kai Jones is still starting for the Mavericks. We don't know if PJ Washington is playing tonight. Klay Thompson, Spencer Dinwiddie. I'll be honest, Kobe White Spencer Dinwiddie not the worst defensive guard, but that's a matchup Kobe White's going to dominate. Klay Thompson and Josh Giddey, that's a matchup Josh Giddey should dominate, right? I really like the Bulls right now. They're playing with a lot of fire, man. I'm telling you, this Bulls team, don't be surprised if they take the Cavs to 7. Don't be surprised if they beat the Cavaliers in the playoffs. I'm not joking. Yeah, you think I'm joking? I'm serious. Don't be surprised if the Bulls actually beat the Cavs in the first round. The way this is going right now, they're going to be the 7th seed. The way it's going, they're going to get Boston, which I'd much rather have them get the Cavs, but we'll see. Guys, the Bulls are fun to watch. I've been saying this for a while. Give me Chicago tonight to beat the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavs will just not be able to keep up. We move now to the Los Angeles Lakers. I think they beat the Grizzlies. I know I do take the Lakers all the time. I actually have reasoning this time, guys. Lakers, coming off that really horrible loss. LeBron takes accountability yesterday on Twitter. That's great. I don't know what the Mavericks are going to be after the Taylor Jenkins firing. It's a move that a lot of people are surprised about, and I was surprised too because it's only 10 games before the playoffs. Now, Grizzlies fans are happy, which I guess, this is from Grizzlies fans, not myself. They don't have an identity on offense. They're bad defensively, and sure, that is kind of the case. They're playing 5 out for most of the year, and they really don't know how to effectively use Zach Edey. that's just my assessment too. They don't really know how to use Edey yet. I don't know how much that changes with 10 games left in the year. Obviously, next year, I think they should have a whole different approach because Ja's not the best 5-out player. But anyways, Taylor Jenkins is gone. I'm not entirely sure who's they're one of their assistant coaches got promoted as interim. That's great. Ja is questionable tonight. That usually means he'll play just because of the Lakers. He's been ruled out, nights before for the last couple nights and the last couple games that they played. He hasn't played since the 14th. I called this a couple days ago. I think Ja's probably going to play tonight. But what is Ja going to be this first game off of the injury? Probably not to the best, probably not to his fullest extent. Jaren Jackson's been playing good ball this year, but I think it's actually a very winnable game for the Lakers. I just need to see Jackson Hayes play bigger minutes. That's what I need. Hayes isn't playing as much as he should. I know he's not elite, but he's good enough, and it really pains me to watch DFS and Rui and Vando try to guard 5s, which actually, though, against the Grizzlies, it can actually work. Now, when Edey's on the court, obviously not, but when it's just Jaren Jackson because they moved Edey back to the bench, yeah, you kind of actually can play small against Memphis. But you need Jackson Hayes to be on the court when Zach Edey's on the court because the Grizzlies do kind of change up their offensive scheme a little bit when Edey's on the court. They can't completely go 5 out, obviously, because Edey's not a big 3-point threat, not at all. We'll see. I think it's a very winnable game for the Lakers. I don't think Desmond Bane's going to beat them tonight. I don't think Jaren Jackson himself can beat the Lakers. If Ja plays, I will get a little bit concerned. But even then, like, it's Ja it's first night back for Ja in over 2 weeks. Austin Reeves is questionable with that ankle injury he suffered at the end of the game against Chicago. We'll see if he plays. Austin Reeves is pretty tough, so I think, the Lakers broadcast says all the time. He should play. The Lakers just need to figure it out. They have the second hardest schedule for the rest of the season, other than, the Suns, who are number 1. They just got to find their way to the 4 seed. This will probably be their first round matchup the way I'm looking at this right now. I believe this will be 4-5, Lakers, Grizzlies. I'm okay with that. The one I'm scared of will obviously be OKC in the second round. I still want Denver in the first round. It's just not going to happen unless the Lakers slide to 6th. Then sign me up. I'd rather play the Grizzlies than the Nuggets. Who am I kidding? But I still don't mind the Denver matchup. This next 2 weeks is really going to determine a lot of things for the Lakers. They're not going to slide into the play-in unless they, fall off completely. They'll be fine. We just need to see how good this team is going into the playoffs. Honestly, though, as long as they split, as long as they go 50-50 the rest of the way out and just don't drop into the play-in, I really don't care. I just need this team healthy in the playoffs, and they're going to be a whole other animal. Taking the Lakers, though, to beat Memphis tonight. They are kind of backs against the wall at this point. Lost 4 of 5. They need to win one to end the road trip. They get Houston on Monday night, but they kind of need to win a game. So I'm going to take the Lakers to get this one against Memphis. Again, a lot of the, the whole turmoil with the Grizzlies right now with Taylor Jenkins gone. I don't know how they're going to play first night out. Give me the Lakers. Yeah, Lakers on the road. Lakers in 5. Next up, OKC and Indiana. I'm going to take the Pacers plus 10.5 here. I wouldn't bet it personally because OKC is just that good. It's crazy that the Thunder are, the 4th best team in the Eastern Conference, potentially could find their way to 3. Probably not. But the 4th best team in the Eastern Conference, and they're on the road, and they're 10.5 point underdogs against the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that's already clinched the playoffs. And that's why, guys, yes, I would stay away betting from the Thunder for the rest of the regular season. I just would. They've already clinched everything. I've said it time in and time out. I'll say it again. They're only playing for Shea's MVP at this point. That's really all they're doing. Let's check what the MVP odds are right now. I'll be mad if... I would be really mad if Jokic is the favorite now. Shea is... I believe still the favorite. Let's see. Fox Sports. Here we go. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander minus 2,500. Okay. So Shea's winning MVP. But the Thunder need to ensure that they can't have any narratives going the other way for Jokic down the stretch of the season. That's why Shea will continue to play, and SGA will continue to post, 37-point nights like he did the other day against the Grizzlies, the day before Taylor Jenkins got fired. Okay. It's just, again, I wouldn't bet anything with the Thunder because I just don't know what they're going to be right now. OKC's won 10 games in a row, but they've already clinched the number 1 seed. They have nothing to play for other than SGA's MVP. And they've got a lot of guys in the injury report. Now they're doing this, and obviously, again, these are very minor injuries, and they're just not going to rush any of these guys back. Caruso, Jalen Williams, Arkansas Jalen Williams, Dang, Aaron Wiggins. They're all questionable tonight, right? You just don't know what you're going to expect, or don't know what to expect right now out of Oklahoma City. I know Indiana's going to run. Indiana's going to play fast. It's going to be tough, again, with such a good defensive team like the Thunder. So we'll really see. Again, this is a very good stylistic matchup. The first matchup in Indiana was won by the Thunder by 6 points. I think the Pacers play this game close, and I think they will cover the 10.5 points. I would just stay away from it betting-wise because I just don't know what the Thunder are going to be. But I do like Indiana a lot. We know we're going to get out of Tyrese Halliburton, who, is an elite player in this NBA. I think he can have a Chris Paul type career, potentially better. We'll see. Pascal Siakam, we know how good he is. He's an all-star. Indiana's great. We'll see how they deal with the defensive matchup against, a very good defensive team against in the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think Indiana keeps it close and takes this one to the wire. I think OKC, though, does edge it out. I understand the Thunder play the most blowout games in the NBA this season. This is one I think will be kind of close, though, because Indiana's playing hot right now and because the Pacers, right, are still trying to find a way to the 3 seed. So give me Indiana on the points, but ultimately, sure, yeah, the Thunder will win the basketball game. Final game of the night, Celtics Spurs, because the Celtics are starting to get into the conversation of, okay, this just doesn't matter for them anymore. Now, I know how Joe Mazzulla operates. I don't know if he's really going to care about that, right? But the Celtics are starting to get in that territory, right? They're 4.5 back the Cavs. I understand Cleveland's been losing some, but it would take, a lot for Boston to surpass the Cavs at this point in the season. It would take a lot, right? It would take the Cavs to really start losing. I mean, still, they're 4.5 games back, right? They're going to be 4 after tonight. I don't know. I think Boston will keep playing, and they have a really easy schedule, so we'll see. But it's one of those teams now where I'm just like, all right, their main objective is just to get healthy, because in the grand scheme of things, guys, I don't know if Boston's thinking this. I'd rather play the Knicks in the second round than the Pacers or even the Pistons. That's the map. I'd rather get New York in the second round. I'd much rather get New York or Milwaukee than Indiana or Detroit. And even in the first round, right? I mean, hell, if Chicago's not in the, if Chicago's 9 going into the play-in, you much rather play the Hawks than you would Chicago or Orlando, right? I mean, you much rather play Atlanta or Orlando than Chicago right now. So I don't even know if the Celtics want to be number 1. Obviously, they're going to try for it. It's just far-fetched, okay? Tonight, yeah, they're going to beat the crap out of the Spurs. The Spurs are horrible. Now, they did play the Cavs pretty competitively in Cleveland, only lost by 8 points. But, the Cavs have not been playing their hottest ball right now. We know how good Stephon Castle is. Devin Vassell's been playing great basketball as well. Castle likely the rookie of the year. I just don't expect anything at all from the Spurs because, right, they're completely out of it. They're just a young team with Chris Paul trying to make the most of what they have right now, and they're obviously building the next year with Wembanyama back, with De'Aaron Fox back, and potentially Cooper Flagg. Give me the Celtics to win this game. They should blow out the Spurs. They're fairly healthy. No Al Horford, I think, tonight. No Peyton Pritchard. But, White, Holiday, Brown, Tatum, and Porzingis are all going to give it a go. That's enough for me to take the Celtics. Boston minus 12.5. Go to San Antonio, Texas, and beat the Spurs. So, folks, thank you all for watching our NBA predictions here on March 29th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. And make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank you all for watching. And Mamba forever.